Let's talk about every single major soulless corporation on the face of the planet suddenly deciding that not only do they have a heart, they have a conscience as well, and that conscience is now telling them to ban Russia. Alrighty then, very well. Now, let me just also point out here real quick as we begin that I am not here to dispute whether or not Russia has done a bad, because Russia has done a bad, but I am here to ask whether or not it is corporations' duty, responsibility, or frankly the privilege to do anything about it. Because what we are really doing here is fighting one tyrannical oligarchical structure with another tyrannical oligarchical structure. And I don't think there are any winners in such a confrontation. I'll expand a bit more upon that point later on, but let me set the stage here first, with this wonderful sanction from CD Projekt Red, saying that, sadly, they will not allow their games to be purchased in Russia or Belarus. I'm sure there are many Russians out there right now that are absolutely devastated by the fact that they can no longer purchase the buggy-ass piece of software known as Cyberpunk 2077. A true loss. And I particularly like this part here. We are not a political entity, you see, and we are incapable of doing literally anything, but nevertheless, despite the fact that we know that the people that we are primarily affecting with this have done absolutely nothing to cause this, we have decided to take a political stance on this matter. Do you hear yourself, CD Projekt Red? Here's the thing, right? One, these sanctions are probably going to do diddly-dick nothing, and two, it is only going to expose our own hypocrisy. Since here's the thing too, here's the real kicker. Ukraine is currently the thing, the big thing, that everyone is talking about, and everyone has a very clear and strident narrative in place. And hey, I'm not even disputing the narrative, I'm just saying that if this was, oh, I don't know, a nation in Asia with maybe a dragon mascot eradicating large parts of a certain indigenous religious minority, I don't think anything would come of it, really. I don't think there would be any, you know, screeds like this from CD Projekt Red, but hey, a hypothetical situation, right? There is also Activision Blizzard, which halts their sales in Russia due to there not being enough nubile women to grope. Electronic Arts does the same out of reasons of pure evil, I would imagine, seeing as it is EA, though, to be fair, they have gotten a lot better as of late. Microsoft stopped sales in Russia as well, and then the big things happened, because frankly, game companies, operative systems, this is not going to have any real effect on anything, but PayPal has announced that they are seizing all PayPal transactions in Russia. This is a very big deal. Now, I've spoken at length about PayPal previously, and I consider them to be a downright evil corporation, and this doesn't change my mind. If anything, it only further solidifies it. PayPal will steal your money if they don't like it. Just straight up steal it. Just straight up steal it. If you don't have enough money on your account, according to their own ideas, they'll just start taking away your money until you've got nothing, and then they'll close your account. PayPal is an evil corporation. But worse yet is the fact that even bigger and eviler corporations like Visa and MasterCard are also now blocking all of their services in Russia, and this is a very big deal. This means that you can't use your credit card, you can't use your bank card, you can't use ATMs, you can't use anything. And our entire society, for better or worse, is built on these goddamn little pieces of plastic, and boy, is that turning out to be an enormous mistake. You might remember that picture with the subtitle saying like Russians standing in line at the subway because all of their cards suddenly start working. A lot of people were looking at that and going like, yay, screw those damned filthy Russians who had nothing to do with deciding this invasion whatsoever. When I looked at that, I thought to myself, holy shit, a corporation can absolutely paralyze our entire society via the push of a button located in California. that should horrify the ever-living shit out of you. Because at this point, it's not interactions between nations that will cause the most damage to the innocent civilians here. And again, I maintain, the population of Russia did not decide to invade Ukraine. They didn't have a referendum or this or anything. They are now the people who are going to be in trouble over this. And again, with all of your money tied up in that piece of plastic, this is far from a minor inconvenience. Like, this could literally make it so that people can't buy food, or groceries, or fuel, or pay their electricity bill, etc, 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 etc. It's a very, very big deal. And what does Russia do? Well, it responds with its own draconian tyrannical things, like banning Facebook or introducing 15-year jail sentences for journalists who spread misinformation about Ukraine. That's absolutely horrible. It's terrible. It's tyrannical. And so, of course, over here in the West, we decide to take a stand for freedom, liberty, and no, that's of course not what we did at all. We introduced harsher penalties for the spread of misinformation, which is already illegal in quite a few areas, and we decided to ban various Russian-speaking news channels. Like, we had a moral high horse here. We absolutely did. This is what annoys me so much with the way the West has been going for the last few decades. Back in 2000, we were genuinely morally superior to Russia. We could look at them and go, how can you put up with your current day system? Like, why don't you, like, do something about it? Get proper democracy, get freedom like us. Now, we're doing the exact same things that Russia are doing. I mean, hell, the jail threats, we've already codified that into law years and years ago when it comes to speaking things that are not for the dogma, things like hate crimes, for example, which can send people to jail with very little evidence or otherwise fine them. This is not a new thing in the West. We have grown closer to Russia rather than Russia growing closer to us, which is the exact opposite of what you would be thinking and hoping would be happening. If anything, this should be our opportunity to go, you know what? We think Russia today is absolute garbage propaganda, and we will make proclamations about it. Hell, we'll even slap on the advisory notes whenever it gets aired on YouTube or Twitch or whatever. I'd be happy to see that. Like, warning, this is Russia today. Hey, they did it for COVID, right? This is Russia today. It is a Russian state-owned media apparatus. Don't trust them when it comes to information about Ukraine. Happy to see it, because in all due likelihood, you can't trust them when it comes to information about Ukraine, but then again, neither can you trust CNN either, for that matter. Therein again lies that problem I referred to a little bit a while ago. But banning them, it just proves Russia correct, doesn't it? We don't have any high ground anymore. We can't go to them and go like, oh, you're not a very free country. Shut up, you've got the exact same sanctions we've got. Now, here's the thing too, right? And stuff like this. Ukraine implores game companies to block Russian esport participation. Corporations do not have a duty to do any of this. None of this. Like, they are corporations. They have no political responsibility because they are not goddamn political entities. And the moment we start treating corporations as political entities, we are very much so living in the cyberpunk dystopia. Like, it's not even a goddamn joke anymore. Non-political companies can impose sanctions on a sovereign nation to the point where it can stop them from using money effectively. Holy hell. Everybody's talking about how, oh, we can deplatform from them from Swift. That'll be tremendously damaging. Visa, MasterCard, and these people in PayPal, they're already doing that, but more effectively and far more sweepingly. I mean, we're taking away the ability to use Swift from a handful of oligarchs and companies. These guys are just banning it broad over the entire country. Is the nuclear option in terms of economic warfare straight goddamn up? Nor do I think that they have any moral obligation to do this. In fact, I believe the exact opposite. I believe they have a moral duty to not do this. It is a company. It is not supposed to have a political position, no matter how clear-cut that political position might be. No matter. None absolutely whatsoever. Russia invades Ukraine? Absolutely. Is that wrong? Absolutely. Who needs to deal with that? Nations. The international community. And to be fair, they're doing an awful job of it as well, and hey, in part, I think that some of these sanctions might actually be even more effective than what the EU or NATO is currently doing. But nevertheless, this simply opens the door for our oligarchies, the oligarchies located in Silicon Valley, to do this against any other nation they don't like. Or, well, more correctly, any other nation that doesn't stuff their pockets full of money, in which case, they'll ignore literally anything and everything. And therein lies the hypocrisy again. I really hate it. And it also means, of course, here's the thing. If Visa and MasterCard can take away the privileges to use electronic money from a country, what on God's good green earth makes you think they can't do it to you for significantly less reason? I mean, do you even think they needed to explain themselves anymore? When they're able to do this to hundreds of millions of people like that, do you think your ass is safe? Do you think your political orientation is safe? We should view this as scary, as very goddamn scary, and we should most certainly not be applauding it. That is my opinion on the matter. At the very least, take it for what you will. Now, scree out of the way, thank you all very much for watching. I hope to see you all again soon, if YouTube doesn't decide that, neutral statements on this are illegal, which, considering they've already banned half of the words in the English language, might as well happen any day, so I'll upload this with trembling fingers. If you'd like to support me, because I feel like that's going to be relevant right now, I'm not yet blocked by PayPal, though I am taking my money out of that god-awful company as quickly as I can, and I would recommend you do the same as well as often as possible. But the best thing you could do is just to like the video and leave a comment in the comment section down below, or possibly share it around to provide a counter-narrative, and even yet better, maybe show it to some of the people who are sharing this and ask them the question, if Visa can do this to 100 million people, why do you think you're safe? I guess it's a very interesting question, isn't it? Have a good day.